And welcome back. And as promised before the break, we're sitting down to have an update on the rehab center. God will provide. And joining us for this conversation, we have the Director of Mission Belize, Alex Popov. I'm saying that correctly.
Yes.
And Director of the Rehab Center, Eric Odecho.
Good morning. Thanks
Good
for
morning.
having us.
Good morning.
And welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, the last time we had a conversation, you were talking basically about your new location that you have. So let's start talking a little bit about how you've been able to actually integrate into the wider society.
Yeah, last time we came on the show, we were saying that we had a date of target of opening, which was January 7th, and on that date we did open, and we've been open a little bit over a month now, and everything is going. We have students on the program. Some come, some stay. So we're up and running and trying to help out.
Yeah. Let's just do an overview of the program itself for those who didn't see the last interview. Just what the mission is of God Will Provide and who your target audience is. Okay?
The mission, our goal here, our main goal is to have a rehab center. Our goal is anybody who's in addiction, whether it be alcohol or whether it be drugs, also gang, people who are just trying to get a fresh start. As we spoke last time, we are faith-based. We teach that Jesus Christ is the only way that can free you. Use medicines, we don't use anything like that. So our target audience, if you would like to say, is anybody who has a problem, anybody who's in any type of addiction and wants to help out. If they're sick of their old life and they want to change and want to give Christ a shot.
Is it a residential facility?
Yeah.
Okay.
You go there and you live with us.
Okay.
Our scheduled day is we will wake up at 7:45. One of the brothers makes breakfast, and then we all gather and have a short prayer, and then we eat. Then it's followed by our devotional time, which consists of a Bible study and a prayer from 8:45 till however long the Bible study lasts. And then we have short work hours, and then will consist of something that we would do during the afternoon, and then dinner, and then again a nightly prayer to wrap up the day.
Now let's talk a little bit about, this is not a program that is unique to Belize. It's a part of a global movement. So let's talk about that and how this Belize leg actually ties into everything.
We have rehab centers in the United States and the closest locations in Honduras. And one of the things that we want to do is raise up people that will be productive members of the society, that will have an opportunity to start their life all over. And most of the time the problem is in your mind and in your heart. So it takes a while to, this doesn't happen over day. It takes time for a person to start his life all over, and to get equipped. And most of the time they're in the world for such a long time that their values, their morals, the way they think, the way they speak, the way they walk, it has to start all over. So that's why it's a tight program when they come, when they live.
I think that's such an important issue in terms of rehabilitation and then reintegration is really, I think, where we see a lot of challenges. Belize doesn't have many opportunities when it comes to rehab programs. So what do you do to get people to voluntarily come into your institution and seek services?
We visit a lot of churches. We got involved with the ARC, the prison ministry, the youth department. We go out there and we minister on the street. So opportunities like this one, the radio station we got blessed with, we have many opportunities like that, doors that opened up for the people to get to know our rehab center.
I see you're also making presentations at schools.
That's my ministry. I work with the youth. Gateway, Ma Williams High Schools, Youth Cadet, that's pretty much my full-time thing. I'm always in the schools. I realize it's a big problem in Belize, huge problem.
I was going to ask, how do you talk to young people or even adults about recognizing that they have a problem? If you talk about some of the drugs that we see in the country or even alcohol use, it's very cultural. People are accustomed to drinking. People are accustomed to drinking a lot. People are accustomed to getting drunk on a regular basis, and not everybody can distinguish when they have a problem or when it's still within their control. So what do you do to have them make that connection that they need help?
Wisdom and life experience. Every situation is different, but try to tell them the reality of the life, the consequences of their choices. They are underdeveloped in certain areas, so you try to teach them how to deal with pressure, responsibility, try to explain to them the consequences of their actions. And every case is different, but definitely God gives strength, and things are looking up.
You said that cultural, it's different. Your guys' culture may be, it's all right, but we serve one God and He's the same. He doesn't change and His rules don't change. So it doesn't matter what culture we go to, His commandments stay the same. So, and we teach off the Bible. So what's right according to the Bible.
Now, in terms of the program, because you said earlier in one of your responses, you don't use any kind of intervention, any kind of drugs, anything to actually get people off whatever addiction they may have. So let's talk a little bit about that aspect of the program itself. How does it work?
Well, I could explain to you how it works for me. I was also an addict myself for many years, and I felt there was no way out also for myself, and I tried to use other different type of medicines to help me come off the drugs that I was addicted to, and it didn't work. I went to the rehab center in America, a branch of that there, and I tried God. I accepted Jesus Christ in my life, and He changed me. The desires that I had to do drugs, to go drink, and it just changed because it's nothing that we do. Once you let Jesus Christ in your life, He does a transformation. That's the biggest miracle that we say. It happens when a person who has lived a certain way their whole entire life or for a number of years, when the Holy Spirit starts working on their heart and starts changing them, and a new man is born. He has a new mind, he has a new heart, and the old things have passed away, and he's new, and he's fresh. So it's nothing we do. We just guide them to who does help, which is Jesus Christ.
Now that's an important point, and having had the experience for yourself, what prompted you to seek out rehab? Because that's part of the struggle people have. You probably are tired of the cycle that you're in, but won't necessarily make the additional step of finding help. What put you in that position?
Well, I had different life circumstances. My health failed. My heart stopped for several minutes, so I was at a dead end in my life, and I knew if I continued going the route that I was going, I wouldn't be alive for much longer. So it was, nobody forced me to do it. I just realized it myself, and that's the hardest part. People like to, have their husbands admit it or their kids, and they do it forcefully, which never works. It's never worked like that before. It has to be a decision that one makes, for himself, that they're sick of that life and they want to change, and they need to change in their life.
And from those that you've seen enter the program since January of this year, let's talk about the demographics that you're seeing. Are you seeing mostly male, age group, type of addiction?
It's just male. Our center's a male center.
Okay.
For most of the part, older men, like above 35. We've had a younger gentleman also, but it's mostly older males with marijuana and cocaine are the two main culprits that we're facing right now.
And while I know you don't want to disclose very specific information, but could you give us an idea as to what has prompted these men to reach out to your center?
Also, they're sick of their life they've been living. They've been on the streets, and they want something different. They see that this is not a way of living. As Alex said last time, they're just existing. They're actually not even living. They're, for day to day, it's one vicious cycle after another. So they want to change. They're just tired of living the way that they've been living, and that's why they come.
What have you found as perhaps one of the more common challenges with men in Belize that would lead them down the road to some kind of an addiction?
Pride, not really taking advantage of the opportunities that they have, being irresponsible, really just not being much mature in many different ways. It's almost like a generational thing. Maybe lack of mentorship for many different reasons, lack of knowledge. See, it's a Christian country. A lot of people know about God, but not everyone's living with God. and making a lot of wrong decisions, and they pretty much give up on themselves. So when you tell them that there is a way, a lot of people, a couple students that we have, they came to an end. Just like my brother said, he reached a point in his life when he had nothing more to live for. I had the same situation happen to me. So when a person talks to them that went through the same struggle, you tell them struggle is real, but so is God, and here's an opportunity.
Yeah.
And some of the people.
Is it more a situation where people need to hit literally rock bottom?
Rock bottom, because a lot of times people think, oh, I'm okay, I'm doing well, I got this.
Until they lose everything.
Until they lose everything and they have to start all over.
And that's usually a difficult point for people to be able to go there. So now you provide an alternative once you have hit rock bottom to be able to recover. You mentioned something so important, and I think it's part of the mentality that we have to adapt in the country as well, that you can't necessarily force a person to seek help for an addiction. But what can you do to help them understand that they do have a problem?
Like I said earlier, there's nothing much that we can do to, if you have a problem and I sit here and tell you all day and just take a Bible and slap you in the face, it's not gonna get anywhere.
Yeah.
If you don't make that realization yourself in your head, in your life, then nothing is, people were prideful and we don't like to oftentimes take counsel from anybody else, and especially when you're in a problem like that. So there's nothing much we can say. All we do is pray. That's all we do is pray. We can't force anybody through our doors. We just pray and wait on the Lord to deliver us people who want help. That's all we can do.
Yeah.
Take the horse to the water, you can't make them drink it.
That's right.
Yep.
So what's the methodology that you guys employ? A lot of people are used to rehabilitation programs that includes the 12 steps. You're a faith-based rehabilitation program. So what do you do to help the addicts to be able to recover?
Family concept, friendship, mentorship, talking to them, getting to know them closer, motivating them, helping them deal with certain situations in life, constantly spending one-on-one quality time with them whenever we have the opportunity.
Do you do counseling for them to understand the root of the problem?
Of course, most definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, it takes a lot of individual counseling because there's a transition period when the person comes off the stuff. He starts thinking a lot, things are going through his mind, he has worries in different situations. We try to encourage them and also try to make contacts with businesses, local churches. So eventually if a person graduates, he'll have a few options from going into discipleship, going back to school, or getting a job and getting readjusted into society. Like my brother said, a lot of people that come on our program have families, have kids, have many responsibilities that they need to take care of that they haven't been. So we want them to become men, mature men.
What have you done with the graduate so far? Because going back into a life that you were used to coping with struggles in a particular way can be hard. Maybe the stressors at home, or the stressors on the job, or the stress of not being able to financially care for your family had led to some of the challenges you have. So once they reintegrate into that reality, what do you do to support?
We haven't had anybody finish the program since the program has only been running for 1 month, and it's a 6 to 9 month program. We haven't faced that obstacle yet. But when that obstacle does arise, when it comes to that time, Alex just explained, we try to help.
Get them jobs, make sure that they are active in the community. And bad company corrupts good habits. So you got to explain to them that they need to let go of everything they used to do and surround themselves with positive people. It's very important. I say the same thing with the youth. You have to find a mentor. You have to find a role model in your life. You have to find positive influence in your life. So, and we want to open up a church or link up with certain churches that we can send brothers that graduate. And a lot of Christian brothers have jobs, businesses here. It doesn't take much for each one to take responsibility for one soul.
Yeah.
So I think everything will work out. We do have a plan in the system that works in other countries in America.
And how can people get in touch with you?
We have a contact number. Yes.
Our number is 635-8116. That is our mission number. And if you would just call, if there's anybody out there who would like to have help, please call the number. We're always available and ready. We have room at the center, so.
And where's the center located?
It's on, it's West Lindever on Bachelor Avenue.
Well, gentlemen, thank you.
Well, I wanted to give you an opportunity to speak out to our viewers. Anybody who perhaps is ready to confront the demons that they have in terms of their addiction, about reaching out to God Will Provide.
Yeah, brother, if you're watching us right now and you have problems and you feel like there's no way out, I just want to tell you that there is one way out, and He works. His name is Jesus Christ. Come to the center. We could lead you to Him, and He could free you and give you a life of purpose, a life of meaning. Will you no longer be enslaved to the addiction, to the problems that you are facing today? There's hope out there.
What's not possible with man is possible with God.
Well, thank you for joining us, and we really hope that you're able to get the people involved in your program who really need the help, and for offering a service that has not been adequate enough in the country so far. All right? Thank you.
Thank you.
And that number again is?
635-8116.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Glory to God.
So we're going to go ahead and wrap up our show now, and we want to say thank you to everybody who joined us today. But remember, if you want to contact us, you can contact us at oye@channel5belize.com, Marlene_oye@channel5belize.com,
And William_oye@channel5belize.com. Have a great day, everybody, and be sure to join us tomorrow morning when we'll have a broadcast live from Placencia to deal with the intercessional meeting for the CARICOM heads of government. Until then, take care. See you there.